GF broke up with me because I wanted a prenup. Hi. I would like your feedback on this. My GF and I had been dating for 3 years now. I partially owned 2 properties with my brother and parents. 6 months on our relationship, I brought up the idea to my GF that we should buy a family home if we are to get married. I do not want to live with my family properties which I partially owned. The discussion got heated up, and then fell through the crack. Fast forward, 4 months before our wedding, I asked my GF that I would need a prenup to exclude the 2 properties I partially owned. I hate to see my family lose their house if our marriage goes sour, as we are planning to treat one of the properties I owned as a matrimonial home. By law, she will get 50% of my share of the property if we treat the property that I partially owned as a matrimonial home. I realized that this is unfair, so I asked her whether she would sign a prenup to exclude my partially owned 2 properties. I do not mind sharing my car, money, equity and other asset with her. She went ballistics, and indicated that what is the point of getting married. I even tried to offer her other alternative like having an expiry date on the prenup in which we have to be married for 20 years before she can get 50% ownership of my properties. She refused. I also asked her if she do not want to sign the prenup, we can rent an apartment and treat that apartment as a matrimonial home. She also disagree. She only want to like on those properties I partially owned. Adding to this, her parent would like a $10,000 dowry for her daughter. I refused to give that amount, and indicated that I will only give half. Then my GF said she will put half as well, but do not tell her parents that her daughter is helping me to put half. For people out there who do not understand why I explained that dowry is illegal in Canada, I will explain. The Canadian laws never indicate that dowry is illegal, nor it will ever allow dowry to be legal. Dowry violates other laws of Canada, and that is the reason why it is illegal indirectly. 1. Dowry violates your fundamental constitutional rights as Canadians. Example, parents would not allow me to marry their daughter because I refuse to pay dowry. Who are them to make such decision? Canada is a free country. I should not be refused because of my skin color, race, medical condition, time, wealth etc. This is my constitutional rights. 2. The person giving the dowry should report it in their income tax. The person receiving it should also report it in their income tax. By not reporting it, you are committing a tax fraud. 3. If dowry is a gift, it should be voluntary. The person receiving it should not demand a certain minimum amount, otherwise what is the point if you want to label dowry as a gift? Buying someone a gift is your call to decide how much you will spend on a gift. 4. If the parents are demanding that a dowry, in other words money, to be a certain minimum amount, then they are simply selling their daughter's son. It is illegal to sell a human being in Canada. To make it worse, you are not going to report it in your income tax return. Redditor's reactions, story 2 after. Redditor 1, hey, we can get married, but these 2 high-value properties that I worked for before we got married will remain solely mine. Well, if I can't have that stuff, what's the point of getting married? That tells you all you need to know, brother. Redditor 2, parents are requesting a dowry, run. I am in same boat. I am 28-year-old single with 2 properties to my name. I'd request the same thing. Redditor 3, dodged a bullet there, my man. She was nothing but a gold digger. Story 2, Reddit saved my life. I had a very messed up life 2 years ago. Being a perfect person was not a blessing for me but a curse. I was devastated to find out that the 12-year-old child I was raising wasn't mine. Yep, these things are rare to see, but it happened in my case. I was trying hard to commit suicide. Actually, a friend of mine told me to post this on Reddit. He said that people are nice here. So approximately 2 years ago I posted my problem from another account. Can't log in to that account because I forgot the password. I won't brief up the story, but I would make it short. I was in a happy marriage, this is what I thought. I was loving my wife. Tried to be the best husband. Never abused her, neither physical nor emotional, cancelled out my dream project to spend time with my wife for bonding. And most important, I respected her decisions even though it resulted for me to take a low-paying job just because she wanted to duck the boss. I was trying my best to have a good life for her. She wanted luxuries and I wanted a family. When we were married for 3 years, she started an affair with her boss that resulted in a baby. I wasn't aware of the fact until 2 years back. I raised the child thinking it was mine. All I ever asked for life was having a stable family of my own, but life didn't grant me that facility. When I found out after 12 years that the child wasn't mine, I was devastated. The only dream I was working hard was broken in a second. I was emotional than angry. Being selfless is the most disgusting trait in me. I decided to post my problem on Reddit, and it helped me more than any counseling. I was glad that I had people supporting me. I dropped out of the relationship with the wife and son. Please don't judge. It was hard for me, but I moved on with the most angle person entering my life. She is my wife and we are expecting a baby. She taught me how to enjoy life. We went to road trips. She sent me to rehabs. I had gotten addicted to drinking after paternity fraud. We would spend nights living like sick teenagers, and now here I am fully moved on. I knew you girls would say curse words to me for leaving that innocent child. Yes, he is never to be blamed for his mother's choices, but I have explained him my reasons in the best way. And he has promised not to hurt his mom and be a good boy. I will cut all contacts with him again because I have moved on, and I will thank Amber and my dear Redditor to help me preventing from suicide. Redditor's reactions, Story 3 after. Redditor 1, glad you are happy and doing well. Thank you for sharing. And congratulations. Answer, no. Thank you all. I would be rolling in a grave if you all weren't there to support me. Redditor 2, glad you found happiness, but that poor child. Probably unlikely to ever get over this in his lifetime. Not without a lot of therapy. I understand it's not your fault and your choice to leave. But that woman destroyed 3 lives. Of which only one gets to truly recover you. Her and that child will never be the same again, and that is incredibly tragic. Redditor 3, you're still doing it. You are still being too nice. While the child is indeed innocent, the mother is evil. Don't apologize for acting the way you did. Ever. May I ask if the mother showed remorse when you found out? Redditor follow-up, agree with all you said. Curious why you posed that question. Was it curiosity? Even if she acted remorseful, how would anyone be able to believe a 12-year liar could be truly remorseful? Story 3, overcoming paternity fraud has been the most beautiful moment of my life. Hello Reddit. I don't know why my accounts are banned, but I am glad I make new ones. Because I love the Reddit audience. One of the most hard things for me as a person has been, being a victim of paternity fraud. I was mentally not so stable. Life had been a havoc. The one child I had supported was not mine, and the one child who supported me was mine. I know biology doesn't make a family, but the deception is very great and traumatic, and I hope no man should suffer from paternity fraud. Let's talk about the issue that how I recovered. I had to cut down my family for some time to maintain my sanity. I was exhausted. The child was a remainder of a betrayal my loved one had done to me. One lesson I learned from this: you should be your own lover before loving someone else. It wasn't the biology I was leaving the kid. Because the betrayal of an affair breaks like a hot knife on butter. Family isn't everything. I, being a victim, hadn't done anything which would push my wife from affair. I am in the army, so I am mostly posted on Sanchal, which is a very tough terrain, and I am away from home serving the country, so I wouldn't leave my duty for any family. The one support I had which made me going was my daughter Rach. She is now 16. She is what makes me going on with life. She is a gamer, and I have learned a lot from my daughter. I cried the day she had said, "I will always have your back, Daddy." She knows the truth of reasons I have left my ex-wife and her child. Sometimes I miss the son too, because I had raised him for 11 years, but looking at him made me angry enough to consider hitting my ex-wife. I know I sound insane, but it's the truth. I haven't had any contact with ex's son, and I am happy. He is happy in his new turned life too. Many new things I get to learn from this new world, but I am happy I will have a daughter who makes me feel like a hero even after knowing my dark past. I am sure victims of paternity fraud victims would recover too. Whether you decide to stay or abandon the child, remember you owe an explanation to the kid, because either are innocent and have done nothing wrong. If you decide to stay, then never treat the child in any unfair way. If you want your self-esteem and respect back and you decide to leave, at least let the kid know it isn't their fault. All I want to say is that all the parents reading this, please motivate the children to be fierce, loyal and loving. The modern marriage would be a lot more successful. Redditor's reactions. Redditor 1, paternity fraud is evil. Op answer, I feel bad for that kid. You raised him for 11 years as a father, and now you're gone forever. Please be there for him if he needs you. You don't need to raise him or fund his life, but don't ghost him. Redditor 2, how did you find out? Who is the biological father? Does your daughter have contact with mother? How did your family react? Op answer, Rach doesn't admit her mom that much. She is allowed to contact her brother and mom and meet them anytime she wants. But she doesn't. The biological father is Emmy X's work husband. I think the work husband term is right. Anyways, my family was against me ghosting the child, but I had to do it nevertheless. I have one life and I want to give it all to my child and not my wife's loved child. Redditor 3, good for you. Redditor 4, is her your ex-wife name Amanda or Emmy? Redditor 5, I think you did the right thing by cutting down your family, but taking away the child she created was depriving her of looking after her child. Op answer, he didn't take her affair child with him. He took his biological daughter with him. Redditor 6, you've got some serious mental health issues to work through. Best of luck.